Alrighty, guys. Um, we got a couple of things that I'm going to share with you guys today. Um, we are going to tell you that I know it's supposed to be 13 today, but we are trying to get the cruising Nordic Horizon stuff done. We're trying to get that done before it switches over to 1.58. Okay. So we are pretty much basically going to try to complete some of the jobs. I did a couple. I'm going to start trying to do those sometimes off camera. I'll try to get off at 2 at night. Doesn't matter. Because we don't got a lot of time to get this done. So I'm going to try to get as much as far as I can, because I had finally figured out I needed to start over. What we need to do is we need to think about looking. Right now we are currently in Norway, so we need to look for something going to Lillehammer. We need to at least get 6 of these done. For traveling, and it's going to take us some time there, so I'm going to try my best. Today's the 29th. We got basically, I don't know when this live event's done. Yeah, we have to concludes on Sunday, so pretty much Sunday at the 1st. We don't got a lot of time to try and get this done, so as external contracts, I always like to look at both. Let's look at the external market. We are here in Lillehammer right now. Is where we're at. That's going to Karlstad in Sweden. That's going to Karlstad. Let me go and check. That's Sweden, right? Have we already been visited? No, we have not. It does not go to that location though, specifically. So we can't really, because I believe, because Norway goes to Karlslund, if I'm not mistaken, external market, Karlstad, yeah, see, it goes to Karlstad, and that's is in Sweden, but it does not seem to do anything. But we also have Hammer, Gothenburg, Milan, so Milan is on our list, right? We've got one right there. Is Milan on our list in Sweden? It is. So Milan is on our list. So let's take that one. We're gonna try to take a lot of the cheaper, um, jobs. The thing is, they need to give us, market is what we're doing. Um, hammer, that's also included up there, but, flan is the one that we want to do. It's basically traveling 265 kilometers, will give us our journey to there. We have to complete, basically today is only Thursday, um, is Thursday, so we've got basically Thursday, we got Friday, and we've got Saturday to do all of this, to do all of this, but it's gonna be Sunday UTC, so it's basically, UTC time, not our time. If they did it our time, I would not be complaining, but but at least now I have the auto lights turned on so that I can remember, so that I don't have to figure out to remember to turn them on. And things, so nobody coming from that way. We do got a couple of cars coming in from that way, but I'm gonna have to wait now because they're all turning, right? Okay, good. Got these two cars coming in. Really? But it's one of those things that we're just gonna basically try to get through this, to get through the Nordic Horizons, because I really wanna get through and just drive to get these locations collected, per se. You know, I am not really. I'm not really actively just gotta get through locations, and I'm picking locations where people aren't gonna necessarily go all the time. I'm actively, um, just trying to get to locations that really support the game itself. I love the opportunity that I get to do a lot of things for a game like this and trying to complete things, and just love a little bit of a challenge. Um, I was trying to complete it done before, but nothing would pop up, nothing would show up, and it would show as if none of these maps were there. So I just basically reinstalled Euro Truck Simulator 2, re-verified the integrity of the files, and also then I also not only did I do that, but I also updated both, Euro Truck, most of Pro mods and all of the Norway and Sweden stuff, Um, for it. Alright, um, so basically I am pretty much just basically taking a lot of stuff to try to get done, um, get through this game and just trying to enjoy a lot of things. And to be honest, um, you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about and share with you guys is about Linux. Today's main topic is just going to be from Windows to Linux. I wasn't thinking about doing something like that. I was going to talk about mainly political content and things like that. And we still will. So don't worry about that. But one other thing that I do want to today, I'm going to be getting off at 6. Not just trying to get as much done as I can. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't have this up and running right now. I'm just trying to situate. That's why I back here at the title, because I wanted to get the thing set up. But as somebody who has basically I've gone through and updated from Windows to Linux, I pretty much basically gave up on Windows pretty much last year. Sometime last year, I don't remember if it was in the summer or in the spring, but I did switch. And I pretty much switched because of two things. Most of you probably have seen the content going on with Linux in general. Linux is, well, looky there. I made a boo-boo. Okay, we're just gonna have to fix our mistake. Basically, this is a World of Trucks content. Like, I have plenty of time to get this done if I make a mistake. I need to be over here. I know I need to move over when cars like that, but I went and switched because of the issue with Linux at the, before. Like, I wouldn't have probably switched over to Linux if I never knew about it. I have never went and played Linux or used a Linux operating system in my entire life until recently. And jumping from Windows to Linux, everything that I do on Windows, that I've always done on Windows except for Fortnite, pretty much I would use Fortnite as my basis to where I would just go and play Fortnite on Windows, because I'd rather sit down and play it on Windows. But I ended up switching and was like, you know what? No, I am going to basically, you know, I have a PlayStation. Why do I need to worry about games like Windows? Why do I need to worry about games like being able to play games like Call of Duty and stuff when I have a PlayStation? Like, what's the point? If I'm always going to have a PlayStation, I'm always going to buy the next PlayStation. Why do I need to buy Windows? Why do I need to be on Windows for it? And I pretty much basically said, okay, that's a no-brainer there. That was one reason. But the biggest reason was Windows and Windows AI. I kind of was like, nope, I need to get off of Windows, because I am not going to sit here and utilize an AI operating system built in. I know it's only exclusively for certain things, but I still don't want to use AI in general because of it being part of the file system, it being part of everyday and being part of everyday content, I don't wanna be there and doing things like that, because it's not worth having AI built into systems and built into computers when AI is prevalent. I know it is. I know it's one of those things that I use on a kind of on a daily basis. I use it for creating titles for YouTube. When I not quite for sure if I really want to use that title. If I'm not like wanting to set it up, but I did set it up the way that I do. Did change it a little bit today. Today's actually a little bit different title um, for it. So basically, I don't like utilizing um, AI to the full extent. I just use it for primarily. I've used it a couple of times for a game I'm working on, um, because I needed to I was trying to find something that would fit for like a sky bridge in my game that I'm working on, and something that would fit for um, with the aesthetic that I already started creating. But I'm not a I can do 2D pixel art, but I can't do like good battle back system stuff. So I ended up doing it that way. And even then, I still can't do 2D for the life of me. But I just use a lot of in-game assets and assets from DLCs and stuff for RPG Maker. But I don't care. I'm not actively going to try to sell the game. To be honest, it's just going to be one of those games that you can play for free. Um, but I will try to figure out some way where if you want to support the work, you can um, support it by getting access by um, giving a little bit of um, the tips for it, because that's how I want it to be. But I don't really. But I wanted to sell. I want to sell it, but I don't think I'm going to, because of the way. Just because it's just basic assets and stuff, and slightly some changes and some things that are there. But anyway, um, there's a lot of the instance of a lot of the stuff that AI is just prevalent in everyday aspect of our lives, and so I don't like it because it's ruining our art, it's ruining our music. You know, there are some times where AI is okay if it's done properly and done right. When it's used, when you have a concept and you have lyrics for a song, I don't care if you want to use AI, go for it. But it's just somewhat ruining our lives in a lot of these places. But there are people out there that aren't musically talented, but that aren't like know how to create like a poem and stuff, but they just don't have the talent to be able to play an instrument or being able to sing, so they'll use AI. And I don't mind you use AI for that kind of thing. I don't mind when you decide you want to use it because you have something you already created yourself. You can just use AI for that scent. Um, and doing it that way. I don't mind you use AI if you have something that you want to make, create an AI thing. That's fine. I don't care, but it's just enough that it's ruining a lot of people's lives, making it that we have to sit here and rely on AI on a daily basis, and making it as a something that, you know, because you don't. A lot of people will just go and use AI to just go and use ChatGPT, say that it's a good thing, but then it's like people will use it for things that shouldn't be used. The worst culprit of them all is Grok. To be honest, like if you're out there utilizing AI for Grok based things and stuff, it's really worse, because you can do almost anything that basically it's like a Wild West for grok, pretty much. Basically, there has been things that have been done that are illegal to be um, to be utilized in a um, how can I put it this way? To be utilized to breaking the law. Um, like I can't say it per se because of the way that TikTok and pretty much basically even YouTube would probably hit me on for it. Um, really? I really have a hard time trying to drive in your truck, to be honest. But AI is like if you want to take and make people get undressed through grok, yeah, you can do it that way. It's a thing that in undress anybody, anyone. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what age. And that's not right. Like, it's not right to see grok being used in a way that basically creates problems. There, like, Elon does not want to take care of. He just wants it to be his thing and just let it go because he doesn't care. It's like he gets into trouble with X because it's a big huge problem on the platform, and to me I'm like, I am not going to step foot on that platform because of that reason. If you're willing to allow for certain content to be on there, but yet you are going to suppress people that do not agree with you, then you're not really a platform I want to be on. Suppressing or reducing the information that is being sent to you in any platform should not be allowed. Now, of course, there are some things that should be done, like it should be taken care of, that if there is false information or false things that are truly false and not just being fed to you because, the algorithm feeds these things to you. Like, to be honest, it's like you go and I pretty much have an account pretty much almost on all major platforms that are out there. I have an account on except for X. Um, I have an account on TikTok. I have an account on YouTube. I have an account on Twitch. I have an account on Twitter. I used to have an account on X, Twitter, basically. I used to have an account for Reddit. Unfortunately, I have to get in contact with Reddit. I haven't done that because I've just been lazy about it, so I can get my content back up. Because I'm pretty sure they've blacklisted me because I have been karma farming because I posted I posted a couple of things on my game through the RPG Maker forum, and it pretty much blew up, like on an instant basis, because I'm making a game. It's the first time my content has blown up somewhere, to be honest. But I don't use those platforms. I don't specifically use them. Um, I don't use them all consistently. I have a Facebook account. I have an Instagram account. I have a Threads account. And I don't post on Threads. I just have an account for it. Not really paying attention to my driving. But I do use pretty much basically the things that pretty much are out there for people to use. I pretty much the three main platforms forums that I'm on major that I'm always on, um, is pretty much basically YouTube, Discord, uh, and TikTok are the three major platforms that I'm always on a daily basis. A major. Now, there's a minor platform that I'm always on. I'm always on Trovo too, but um, I pretty much basically, you know, um, use those platforms because they are the best platforms. Now, of course, I do have a Twitch account, but I only use it to now just listen to Barnacles. Barnacles is the only person I watch on Twitch these days. I do have people that I don't watch anymore, or I'm looking for Twitch drops for like Fortnite or Call of Duty and things like that that I have games for, but I don't watch it for anything else other than that. And it's one of those things. I don't even watch TikTok that often. I do scroll through occasionally. I'm mostly sitting on the biggest platform that I use the most between all of them is Instagram and YouTube. Instagram, I'm always going through my stories, seeing what's going on, through political content, through politics, and I use that on a daily basis because, you know, it's a thing that I pretty much basically get all my information from. I get my information no longer from regular TV. On occasionally, I might get something because I'm checking for the weather for my local area, and that's about it. You know, I mainly get it from Midas Touch, mainly get it from Tennessee Rando, Brian Tyler Cohen, David Packman, um, you know, or just general social media. I get it through Smart News. Um, I'll read something maybe occasionally from Smart News, but I also go and read occasionally from um, Newsbreak. But I don't really want to use either one of those because I want to use Ground News. I want to have the Ground News stuff so I can get better content for you guys and actually have more understanding of what's going on and understanding why is this a left leaning, why is this right, so that we can kind of have that more granulated understanding of what's going on both sides, because I don't want to be sitting here saying, you know, completely that it's a lot of things on the left or a lot of things on the right, because one of the things that I am not happy with right now, a lot of you guys will probably look at me and say I'm left leaning. I am. A lot of you guys are probably going to say like I hate Trump. You've seen me talk about a lot of times where I dislike like the MAGA movement. I dislike the way that a lot of Republicans are doing things. I do not like how they're basically destroying sports, how they're taking away rights for trans people, destroying LGBTQ lives, taking away human rights for a lot of things, taking away even our Second Amendment rights, because that's a human right too, to be honest. Right to defend yourself. You know, they're starting to take away a lot of these things that I just don't agree with. You know, in Washington right now, there's a bill, I think it's like HB something, I don't remember exactly, that are basically taking away the right to I got a car up here and I don't want to blind them per se, but actually we are good on gas right now, so but one of the things that I am really a big proponent of is basically privacy. I'm a big privacy conscious person. I am somebody that we don't have a lot of privacy these days, but any sense of privacy that we can get, I would rather try to keep that privacy and keep that going for us. You know, because even though I live in Minnesota, it really concerns me when a state like Washington trying to ban 3D printed. They want to not ban necessarily 3D printing, but they want to look at all of your 3D prints. They want to do looking at requiring you to be always online to 3D print anything, and they're doing it in the guise of basically taking away guns, because guns are or that it's like, no, guns, actually 3D printing a gun is a lot harder than people realize. People don't think that 3D printing a gun, like, it is not, you're not going to be able to change the way that 3D prints work, or change the way that these guns may at some point in the future might, but as of right now, there has been zero 2 related deaths to a gun in the United States. 2 to a ghost gun. And unfortunately, they could do this a lot better and say, hey, you want to print these guns? Basically, they now should be basically allowing you to have access, instead of requiring us to have access. They could do it a lot easier, saying, hey, you have you could basically, instead, you could just be basically, you want a 3D printing license, you can have a 3D printing license instead of, or find some way to not have the removing of utilizing of a ghost gun, or utilizing of these process on these things. Like I know a lot of content and a lot of people will, oh, it's so worried, but guess what? It's more than just about a gun. Okay, there are, look, every system, everything that we use on a daily basis, like I'm running here on Bazite, is it 100% safe? No, it's not. Is Windows 100% safe because we decide to use Windows? It's not 100% safe. Nothing is safe. Okay? You know, you want to prevent somebody from basically voting. You want to put a voter ID, but wait, okay, so now you want to require a voter ID. I am literally somebody that's left leaning, because a lot of the things that I stand for, if you really want to think about it, think about me. Go look up Bernie Sanders, and go look up him, to be more precise. I kind of really would vote for him over anybody else right now. He's the top person that I would vote for, because he's the one that is an independent. He's not a Republican, he's not a Democrat, he is just a independent that caucuses with the Democrats. And I'm somebody like that, where I really am. That's why I am a registered Democrat than a Republican. I used to be a registered Republican. I get a lot of Republican stuff. Like, I don't like being that way. Like, I don't understand that because I switched over that I'm now getting like they really want to push me out and saying, look, I'm going to sit out there and vote Mike Lindell because I get these Mike Lindell stuff. Like, they're posts, like, he's already getting stuff going out, and I'm like, I am not going to sit there and vote for Mike Lindell. He is actually one of the worst people that I would vote for in general. For governor of Minnesota. I would rather vote and sit and vote for Amy Klobuchar, to be honest. A Democrat. You know? Like, because we're going to have governors coming up this year, like, if I can manage to stay here. But if not, then there's no way I would be able to vote that way, and I want to be able to vote in 2026 for it. Because I am somebody that we should be voting and protecting. 3 things that we should always vote and stand to protect. 1, we should stand up and vote to protect the LGBTQ community on a daily basis. It's the one thing that I will tell you I am not going to change. I will not change based on my decision on that, because the one thing that I will not change, and that's the one thing, is because like I will say, is like, it's a human right for everybody to live and be happy for how they are, as long as one, every single human being has enough to survive, to get the health care that is deserved, to live a long, prosperous life. Okay? There are a lot of people who, there's a lot of people like me, um, who do not agree with, who do agree with me. Okay? But then there's a lot of people out there that do not. And a lot of people don't want universal health care. We need to have a universal health care. We need to have something to rein in all these forced healthcare problems that we face in America, because Obamacare was great at first. Okay, it was a great thing. It was something that now it's kind of after Trump kind of derailed Obamacare and changed the way that it's done and all these things. It's not great. It's not great to see a lot of things going on when you have these companies that basically, like, your healthcare insurance, that you can only basically, we should be doing it during open enrollment, that if you want to negotiate and do things, like, you should not be able to drop your healthcare provider because you decide that after open enrollment you're now gonna say, oh, now we're gonna go try to we're gonna drop your primary care doctor or whatever. And it's not right. We should not be dropping those things when you have the open enrollment until like January 15th, and then you have to get another healthcare provider or whatnot. It's just really, really dumb for it. And there's a lot of other things that could be changed and fixed. We shouldn't be paying $400 or $500 for medication when we should be able to get it cheaper. Look, a lot of people these days, to me, we would not be in the situation of having okay, so now we're level 10. I am going to look for we're now going to add the fragile cargo now. Add one so we can start picking up some fragile stuff. So we can have a little bit more options now, so that we can do that. Okay, so now let's go check up our thing. We actually have two Hamar, Lilyhammer, and we have Full On and Gaval. So actually, so yes, because we came from Hammer, and then we came down here and we went to Full On from there. So we got what we needed to complete our thing there. We are in Barrage, is where we can go next. No, I believe we are in Sweden. So it would Borlänge. Is that on our list in Sweden? Borlänge. So we can go to Borlänge and get this done actually a lot quicker than I expected. So let's go do one more haul. But guys, before we do, make sure you guys hit that follow. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. Because if you do not hit that subscribe, you aren't going to get notified. That's Borlänge to Uppsala. Have we been to Jönköping? Because we can't do you. We can't do you. It's gotta be... We can do you. We can do you. We can do Gothenburg. I don't think... I don't think Gothenburg is on the list from Sweden, though. Yeah, Gothenburg... I think Gothenburg was already part of the older stuff. We haven't been able to get over here to to Finland. I have no idea, where Finland is, because there's Sweden, there's Norway, there's Sweden. We haven't been able to get over here yet. So we will go here. External market is what I use the external market because I have my trailer on me. But that would still work because we're going from this place. Do we have actually Talon going to Estonia? That's going directly to Estonia. Okay, we'll take the empty pallets. Because we haven't been to that place yet. Or Uppsala. Uppsala is a lot closer. If we go to Uppsala... If we stay, actually, we could stay here in Falun and see if we got anything. We actually do got one to Helsinki in, empty pallets to Helsinki. That actually might not be a bad idea because we do need to go over there. But I think what we will do is let's go, no, that's fun. No, boring. We're gonna take this one here. For it, I think that'll be our last one that we do for today. For this stream anyway. I will probably do a little bit more tonight. Because the better that we can go from one place to another, we can actually get this done in a lot quicker and a lot sooner than absolutely that needs to be done. Okay. Yeah, because you guys are going to experience saving enough to maintain, but you should now be able to receive enough to maintain. I always forget to do that. And just because it's starting to become a little bit darker in here tonight, we'll turn you on at least. But I will tell you, I am absolutely enjoying the game so far right now. So we'll take this one. This one will give us our Sweden one that will complete to and from one location. This will give us basically our 4 to here, and then we can start trying to figure out a way to get to Finland. All of this trying to Trying to get through. We'll pick up our load. And then we'll get some rest up here. Because we'll have our availability to get somewhere. So yes, today was, I'll tell you one thing, guys, today was supposed to be 13, and then I realized, when does this event end? And the Nordic Horizons event end? Like, okay, I need to get this done. If I'm starting to collect things, like if I wasn't able to because I was having issues, then okay, that's one thing. But now that I'm able to get this thing done, and properly done, we can get the Nordic Horizon stuff, and then we'll get into 13 on on Sunday. Make up for it, playing all next week on that. Next week. So, but to be honest, I absolutely want you guys to know that if you are downloading mods for this game, make sure you, one, if you are coming in from Windows to Linux, just in general for this game, make sure you start a new profile. Delete all the previous profiles, even the ones that downloads, and create a new one, and you should be okay with it. Here, and also make sure that when you do transfer over, when you download mods, not transfer over, but when you download mods, that you make sure that you download them in a proper manner, and if you have any issues, re-download the mods, and you should be a-okay. Like, I had to reinstall ProMods because, because ProMods, basically ProMods was the one that really broke it for me, because I'm like, why am I still seeing things like it's coming from 2.77? Oh great. Oh fudge, I forgot to go rest, but I just want you guys to know that a quick and easy thing. But I will tell you, like, if you guys have issues, start with that first, and then go, and if you still have those issues, then go. But if you're having issues that are known issues, then you should be a-okay to go through known issues and just do that. Now, of course, check the known issues through gmccommunity.co.uk. Do that. Because that's going to basically tell you, okay, this is things that you want to make sure you follow that set of places. That's where I got all my mods from. I don't care if they're not an LGBTQ supportive place. They're just a modding community that are free to do so, and free things. Who doesn't love free things? I absolutely... You got 1 hour. How long is it till we can get to here? It's 1 hour and 21 minutes. So we'll see how far we can go. I'm gonna speed. I don't care. I do, but I'm like, as soon as we get this one done, guys, we will see what the see if we can get those reflectors, and see if we can get the reflector and the back thing installed on this. And then we will have our truck fully finished and fully done. Side skirts, everything set up to the way that I usually would have this truck. But because we are starting so low, we don't have a lot of cash on hand right now. We can't upgrade my garage yet because we don't have that, and pretty much basically it's the EVGA S-Way we're going to use for this location. Once we get through clearing up this whole entire location filled with EVGA S-Way, we will utilize another another truck, and we will go from there. Trucks, I pretty much will go through every truck in this game that I can possibly use for my company logo, because reasons. Um, I can't get my logo to work on all the man trucks, and I can't get it to work on all of the I think there's like another truck company that I can't get all my trucks to work on. Pacific. Let me check the real quick. I know um um I can't get it working on. I don't think it's. I think it's man, but I don't have all the Renault stuff. It's the Volvo one that I don't have. That does not also work on all of my trucks. So we will, when we do get those, we will have. We'll use like a particular truck skin for those portions of those trucks for it. But I'm not gonna go for those first. Um, I went and used the Iveco to start with. Um, we maybe at some point, like guys, if you want to see me use okay, we're going to go straight forward, so it's yeah, I'm gonna take the red light offense because I can. Because I am needing to get some rest, and I've mistakenly messed up my resting. Like I should have rested there, and I just what don't. If I don't have it marked on the map, I don't genuinely go for it. But we should be able to get some rest up here. Actually, I can go up here. We'll go up here and we'll do it in here. Because if I can go up here, then that'll be great. Great, because we can stop right up here. And it's gonna have me go that way, but I'm gonna do it the other way. with the way that initially had me going for it. And you know what? I'm gonna take that red light because there's like nobody here. Like, I don't mind taking that. Like, if it's whatever. Like, this is a game that I can just skip through it. Like, to be honest, they really need to make that a little bit more punishing. Like, if you've gotten like a few red light violations, you should get more violations for it. Like, you should lose more money for more red light violations, so that it makes it much more. Actually, I see how it works now. So we go this way. See how that roundabout's set up? Okay, much better. Right, so now, where are we headed? Okay. So as long as the kilometers per hour, as long as the kilometers are at least 150 or above, we should be a-okay. Basically, I'm going to try, like, I know tonight I have, like, I have to do Save the World tonight, too. So what's going to happen is, tonight I'm going to try my best to basically be on from, try to be on till 2, and then from 2 to 4 I will be on playing this. Probably won't be live with you guys, here on YouTube, because YouTube does not like me doing it twice in a day, so I'll just do it once, and then we go from there. I don't know how that works, but to be more precise, yes, I am speeding, because I don't care, because I'm like, what's the point? In a video game, like, speeding is, you're not gonna get a lot. I probably shouldn't, but you're not gonna get into trouble for speeding in a game like this, to be honest. But we'll just make sure that we don't. And to be honest, if you guys don't remember, I said this yesterday, and I'm gonna repeat it again because I'm not gonna say it again after today. But if you came to this exact location when I was doing it, make sure that you have 2.80 Pro Mods for that exact location that we passed. Make sure that you have the reinstall the Euro Truck Simulator 2, verify the files, and make sure you re-download Cold North, and that if you have any issues. I know it's not perfect, but that's the best way you can fix your game here. But so anyway, getting to the side of political and shifting to showing you guys talking about politics. Like, I typically talk about it a lot, where politics is the biggest thing that I do around here, and you know, recently, like today, I didn't get into anything today because I was looking for some jobs, and I went and I looked and applied for a job today. Hopefully that job does respond back to me, and that hopefully I can get into it. If they don't, I will go in person for this one and say, look, I have been trying to pretty much find a job for the last year, trying to do cleaning. Nobody wants to really put me in, and I'll tell you, like, I have been doing cleaning for 5 years, for a minimum of 4 to 5 years, pretty much, basically since basically I was doing it for at least 4 years. I did it since 2019 to 2024, pretty much, basically before I moved. And I've pretty much have that experience, so it's like, it's no point it's like I don't mind doing office cleaning or doing things that follow it. To be honest, that's the only thing, and I don't want to, and because I don't want to be around people a lot of the time. Like, I don't mind being around a few handful of people, but I just don't want to be around like 70 different people. Um, like being around people for like too long, because that I kind of don't like being around people in person for whatever reason. I just don't feel like that, and it's really tough doing that. It's like I have a hard time going to somewhat of convention, like um, going to a convention sometimes too. But I've kind of grown over it a little bit where I can be around people, but I just don't like talking to people. I'm not like somebody that, like, you can get me to talk and things being around online. Like, I have a little bit of an easier time doing it online, but I'm still kind of don't even have that necessity wanting to talk to people, because it's one of those things that I just don't. Because I feel like I make a wrong mistake or make a wrong thing or something. It's just who I am in a lot of cases. Thanks for following me. Thank you for following me on the TikTok side. Thank you guys. Remember, if you guys want to see more content, make sure you guys hit that share on the TikTok side, and make sure you guys are followed. Make sure you guys are subscribed on YouTube. It's all free to do so. Subscribing on YouTube is free, but I do ask that you do hit that bell notification with the all, because you aren't going to get notified if you do subscribe, because YouTube's being a butthead. But if you are not catching my stuff, at least I will be live anywhere between 3 and 4:30. Today I was live till 4:30, because I was trying to shift up a couple of things around, listening to a couple of videos that I was gonna kind of mention, but I didn't, and I'm not going to, because it's not a lot for me to go through and mention a lot of stuff. But we do this channel is, and this stream is, and will always will be a LGBTQ safe space for anybody who is part of that community. If you're not gonna be a safe space for, if you're not gonna be acting nice and kindly about it, or you are not going to be nice around here, you will pretty much get punted, and you will be punted for it. I'm not gonna argue with you on stuff like that, because if you really are gonna argue on political content, on political things, like, I'm sorry, but if you want to ban transgenders from playing sports at all, because basically there was a thing recently where a co-ed, like, I actually saw this a while back, but I haven't gotten around to mentioning it, because, or I probably have and I just forgot that I did, but they want to ban even trans people from playing in co-ed sports. Too, they don't care. They want trans people gone, out of existence. They don't care about anybody but themselves. And I am sick and I'm tired of it. I am sick and tired of them going after trans people because they dislike because they dislike us, because we are totally different from them. And it's like, look, no person is gonna ever be sitting here to be perfect, ideal. A trans person's not gonna really harm you. A trans person's not really going to harm you in any way, shape, or form. most like there are going to be people like if you really talk about a trans person wanting to really harm you, then go look at a white person, go look at a black person, go look at any identity, and you can blame an identity for having problems. Guess what? There are good and bad people in every society, in every country, every place. But that doesn't mean that we as a society, we as people should just not go after people because of a certain identity because of crime, because they're gonna try to hurt us in the bathrooms, or trans people are gonna hurt us in the bathrooms. No, most trans people will not hurt people in the bathrooms. Okay. Now, of course, I will tell you there are people out there that you think that you go and you look out and you go online and it's like, there are some things that should not be posted on Facebook but are posted. I got shared things that shouldn't be shared on Facebook. And they found that it was not violating community guidelines. Bull crap. It violates Facebook's community guidelines because a child, uh, it's like, why can't these things, like, of course, there are going to be places on the internet that are going to be problematic. There's going to be things through every platform is going to have a problem, but there are places like X more problematic than freaking Fortnite, more problematic than freaking Blue Sky. But that doesn't. But it's problematic because it's one of the worst AIs out there to be utilizing for any sense, because his AI basically, like, I know I've said this earlier, but I'm not gonna say it again. But it's just the point of that when you look at the political landscape of these things, they also want to now start requiring you to have certain IDs to be on these platforms because of problems with kids or addiction on these things. YouTube's not addicting. YouTube, like, I can tell you, I sit here and I'm on YouTube. I do not think I'm addicted to YouTube. I'm more addicted to freaking Instagram than I am addicted to YouTube. I absolutely will tell you, I will sit there and be on YouTube. I'm hardly actually on YouTube these days. Then I'm on Instagram a lot more because I am pretty much on Facebook a lot more because Facebook tends to have a lot more of the content that I want to see, but at the same time there are content that I don't want to be seeing, and it's problematic. You know? Okay, so now we got did it not count? Oh, Borlage. I don't think actually the one that we came to. Joe Copping. I don't think Joe Copping was actually on the list. Yeah. It was not on the list, but that's okay. We did complete one from there, so from our list up there, so we are okay for that now. But there's a lot of things that when you look at places that are problematic, like Roblox is problematic compared to Fortnite. Okay, but remember, you got to think about that any place that it's not earnest on the government should not be encroaching on platforms, forcing platforms to follow the standard when these platforms already have somewhat of a standard. Okay, Facebook, to be honest, the platforms that have the least amount of content for me when it comes to adult content or anything of that nature, the least culprit is freaking YouTube. YouTube has done fantastic work at not showing me content like that unless you absolutely go looking for it. Like, I don't see it on YouTube, I don't see it anywhere. TikTok's another great example. I don't see it on TikTok either. But the biggest culprit that they say that they don't do it is Facebook. Like, I see that I've seen it through a messenger through it, and it's like, no, thank you. Okay, that's the worst place. Of course, you look at Blue Sky. Blue Sky has it on there, but that's because they have specifically said that, it's 18 plus content, but you can filter that out and not have to see it. It's the same thing. It's like on X, you're allowed to have you were allowed to have on that content on Twitter, but that was because Twitter allowed it and Twitter set that up for it. You don't let your kids onto these social media platforms in general. You, as an adult, as a parent, should not let kids have access to these social media platforms just because it's addicting or whatnot. It's like you know that you're on these platforms. You know that these platforms are addicting. They are there. You can still have these platforms. Just don't need to have a phone consistently following on these platforms. I am pretty much, I will tell you immediately that I sit here, I'm on Instagram or I'm on TikTok, I can scroll and I will be sucked in for a lot longer than I should be. Okay? But YouTube, I get sucked on the shorts more than I get sucked in on the non-shorts content. Okay? All of these platforms do have addictive nature, but they're addictive because that's how they are designed, is that these algorithms feed what you want to see compared, and that's why you get sucked in a little bit more. And I don't care if that's going on. Okay, but I don't care when we have platforms like TikTok or things where ads are the worst. Like, I really do disable ads wherever I can. I pay for premium. It's the only platform I pay for premium. I could probably drop premium off because I'm not doing anything or going anywhere, but premium is it's just really, if I do remove premium, um I have you want to really, you really want to talk about job. I am not in a current job at all, not into any music, 'cause I just literally just dropped off an actual load here at GNT. I literally just dropped off a load. I'm getting off too, because it is that time for me to get off. But I was just talking about the social media platform thing, finishing that thing up. But social media, it can be addicting if you let it be. Anything can become an addicting. You get your favorite pop, your favorite drink. It can become an addiction. There are people out there that will go and consistently drink Dr. Pepper, consistently will absolutely have to have their coffee before they get up in the morning. They have to have all these things. You don't. I know that the shoes are never going to come, but guess what? I have no job. I have no load on me anyway. No job, nothing. And no, I don't deliver shoes. It's just my company. I just built a thing based off of my company, and I just like shoes. That's the other thing that I like. But I do need one more thing before we do quite get off, though. Let's go get our vehicle situated. Actually, no, hold on. Before we do go anywhere, let's go to go to catalog, go to Truck Explorer real quick. I need to check. Okay, that unlocks at level 12 for that. I wanted to see. Are we on the S-Way? Yeah, because we only have the S-Way here, but I wanted to see... You know what? Just the easiest way to do this is let's go get ourselves out of here. Of course, I'm going to have some trailer damage because I cannot drive perfectly throughout here, but yeah, we're going to go get our vehicle repaired, get it slightly upgraded to see if we can get those reflectors and the rooftop, because I like those things. Even though it's not going to change much of anything, it's not going to reflect the truck in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to be getting off here shortly, though, because it is almost that time for me to get off. I'm supposed to be off at 6 o'clock. And remember, guys, we are live pretty much daily, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Primarily driving. Saturday, actually, no. But we're pretty much basically live anywhere between 3 and 6 o'clock and 3 to 6 p.m. at night. 3 p.m. to 6. Sometimes we start at 4. Most of the time it's 4. Sometimes we start earlier. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so we don't have that there. Nope, we'll just leave that standard. And we'll throw you on, and we will throw you on to there, and then we'll come down to here, and we'll add the painted side skirts. $80 on that. I might actually take the... Here, I'm actually going to take off the side skirts for now. I'll just leave it duty. Because I don't want to throw the side skirts on yet. Because I want to come up here... and throw a sun shield on. I like that the best. And then we'll go add the lumen mark. I actually like the lumen mark ones. And then and then we don't add the HS bowls. This one, I'm gonna leave it black down here. And then we're gonna throw in, I like the light, do we have it on here? Yeah, we're missing available at 10, 12, and 14 there. So I just been putting the light, I'll just put the light chrome 3s on it. But as you can see, and then we'll go up here and we will clear you out. We do not have enough to throw that. So what we'll do is we'll come up here. Don't have the beacon yet. So painted. On there because I really like the painted. I think we could go with that's $390 for that. Mark 1 there. Or do, hold on, or do we, whoops. Or do we shift it up above? Above and put it more towards like a whitish. So it's not the same color as that, but we can do it a whiter color there. For it. That's just LED lights. Since this truck can no longer do that, let's go down here, put the trans flag into play. And you can add the trans flag on our on there. And then that one I will upgrade to the gunmetal now. Because I can. And I'll confirm our order. That'll leave us with $1,000 left over. For our truck itself, the junk hopping. From here, we will save the game. Vehicle adjustments. Adjust lights. Roof auxiliary. Okay. And then we'll go up here. Stop our engine. We'll get some rest. Because we need to get some rest. And then we'll get off for the day. Let's save our game over here to live 1:29:26. That's how I save it. That way you guys know that this is a live save. This is what we do when I am live. So that if there is something that I did mess up during a live, or you guys want me to go back to a save, that's the greatest way. But I will tell you, I will be back later tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you guys are followed. Hit that subscribe on the YouTube side. If you're on the Trovo side, hit that follow. Hit that, and the TikTok side, hit that follow. And I'll tell you this, if you guys want to see a lot of the content that I do make through these, pretty much come back at about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for some more Euro Truck. Tonight, come back at about 9 o'clock, for some Euro Truck as well. And some Fortnite. We'll do Fortnite about 10 o'clock, 10:30. Because I'd like to show you how much we can get done through it, do this, and how much we can get done throughout the day for you guys. So, if you're watching on YouTube, though, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit that bell notification on your way out the door with the all. As you hit that subscribe, and it is greatly appreciated. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, and we will catch you guys later. Bye bye. And thanks, Rusty Nail, for joining the stream. Thank you. Anyway, we will catch you guys later.